Life is not random. Life is structured. One of the most misunderstood aspects of leadership is influence. Today, I want to speak about why leadership is the stewardship of influence. I am Anthony Ikemefuna, the Destiny Architect. On this channel, we explore leadership, purpose, stewardship, alignment, legacy, and destiny as systems. One of the most misunderstood aspects of leadership is influence. Many people view influence as visibility, popularity, authority, power, or the ability to command attention. But influence is far more serious than that. Influence is stewardship, and leadership is ultimately the stewardship of influence. This distinction matters deeply because influence affects decisions, culture, thinking, opportunities, systems, relationships, and even future generations. Whether people realize it or not, leadership always shapes outcomes beyond the leaders themselves. This is why leadership should never be approached casually. In Destiny Unlocked, stewardship is defined as the faithful and intentional management of entrusted resources in alignment with purpose and legacy. Influence fits naturally within that definition because influence itself is an entrusted resource. No leader truly owns influence permanently. Influence is entrusted temporarily through position, expertise, trust, visibility, character, responsibility, or contribution. It is stewardship that determines how that influence is used. A trust-driven leader asks, how much influence do I have? A stewardship-driven leader asks, how responsibly am I using the influence entrusted to me? That difference shapes destiny because influence amplifies whatever exists within a person. If wisdom exists, influence multiplies wisdom. If discipline exists, influence strengthens discipline. If disorder exists, influence magnifies disorder. This is why influence without stewardship often becomes dangerous. Without stewardship, influence becomes manipulation, leadership becomes self-serving, visibility becomes vanity, and power becomes disconnected from responsibility. History repeatedly shows that many leadership failures are ultimately failures of stewardship. Some leaders gain influence before developing maturity. Others gain visibility before developing internal order. Some expand authority without developing wisdom. But influence magnifies internal condition. Leadership, therefore, does not merely reveal competence. Leadership reveals stewardship capacity. This is why sustainable leadership requires alignment. In the destiny architecture system, alignment is the intersection of purpose, stewardship, and legacy. Without purpose, influence loses direction. Without stewardship, influence loses sustainability. Without legacy, influence becomes self-centered rather than contribution-driven. True leadership, therefore, is not merely about being followed. It is about managing influence in a way that creates meaningful and enduring impact. This also explains why some leaders strengthen people and systems wherever they go, while others leave behind fear, confusion, instability, distrust, or collapse. The difference is often stewardship. Stewardship-minded leaders understand that influence carries responsibility. Every decision influences people. Every culture influences behavior. Every example influences thinking. Every system influences outcomes. Leadership, therefore, extends far beyond authority. Leadership shapes environments. This is why leadership influence must be approached with humility. Because stewardship recognizes that influence is temporary, positions change, platforms evolve, visibility shifts, titles expire, but impact remains. Another important truth is this: influence compounds. A leader may never fully see the people inspired, the values transferred, the opportunities created, the systems strengthened, or the generations affected through faithful leadership. This is where legacy becomes deeply important. Legacy is the hand that you extend to generations you may never meet. Leadership always leaves a legacy, constructive or destructive, intentional or careless, generational or temporary. The most powerful leaders, therefore, are not always the loudest leaders. Often, they are the most responsible stewards of influence. They understand that leadership is not merely about control, status, applause, or personal advancement. Leadership is about people developed, trust preserved, opportunities multiplied, systems strengthened, and future generations empowered. Ultimately, influence is never neutral. It either builds or weakens. It either develops or damages. It either contributes or consumes. This is why leadership must always be approached as stewardship. Because leadership is not merely the possession of influence, leadership is the faithful management of influence in the service of purpose, responsibility, contribution, and legacy. Remember this: success is not enough. You are designed for good success. Success that creates significance. Significance that is rooted in purpose, powered by stewardship, and built into a legacy that echoes into eternity. If this message resonates with you, take a moment to reflect. And if you want to explore the deeper structures behind leadership, stewardship, alignment, purpose, and destiny, consider subscribing to this channel. I also explore many of these ideas in greater depth on LinkedIn and Facebook, where I write in longer form.